David Gapen from the Reuseum in Boise is going to show us what they do, and you brought out your favorite one first, you said.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about it. You use all recyclable materials, right?
Yeah, these are all parts from our shop in the Reuseum. Everything has either come off of a printer or was used by companies for projects, and maybe it ended and they had all these extra parts, and so that's the type of store we are, is sort of this electronics thrift Shangri-La of excess material, and there's a lot you can do with it, and this is something you can.
Okay, and you said this one is on a mission to find light.
Yes, his eyes can only see light, and he's got little antennae that help him do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I saw back here, you said the bumpers are little wine corks.
Yeah, the underside of it. The bumpers are wine corks. These casters are off of a printer. This was the inside of a printer.
Okay.
All of the electronics inside came from old like hard drive manufacturers or electronics companies.
David, will you show us how it works?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let me get the batteries going here. He's going to want to roll off the desk, but let me.
Hopefully we can
give
catch
him some tape up here. Yeah. So yeah, he's going to go straight towards it.
Towards the light.
Maybe see if we can.
Going towards the light.
There you go.
So how did you get started in this?
Well, my interest in electronics came originally from music, and I wanted to. Since I was a little kid, I was always taking apart fans and stuff, and my mom really encouraged me to make do and everything like that. So I just tried to turn that into a discipline. It's always been a passion.
Very cool. And you actually, people can come into the store and ask you questions about how they can make their own?
Sure. I love talking to people about, you know, any idea that they have. Yep. And
then you have all the materials there that people need?
Sure. Yeah. Kind of our rule of thumb is if you need a part, make sure we don't have it before you go anywhere else, because we probably could.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
and this Thursday, I know the class is all filled up now, but you're going to be at the Meridian Library.
Yep.
Teaching.
We're going to teach basically kids as young as 12 to learn how to make their own robot. I made it really easy and learned how to design a circuit and etch it by hand. So that way they'll get more to the fun part of actually making it into a robot and looking cute and things like that.
So what other things can you get these robots to do?
Well, yeah, this one follows light. It's always a simple function. We're going to make sumo bots, like, so that they can, you know, do like a little wrestling battle and try to knock each other out of the ring.
That'll be fun.
Or you can make dragsters. These are just, it's sort of the 101. It's an introduction that I want to show these kids that at first anything is possible, but hopefully they'll grow up and they'll learn to do more complex things with them.
Well, you brought along 3 other robots, which
you're
going to show Nate. So I'm sure Nate's going to have a fun time playing with them. He's very excited.
We're going to get to do the battle bots.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, David. We'll catch up with you a little bit.
Junk and bringing them to life. And our in-studio guest is here to share how you can turn an old CD player or even an old VCR into a robot. And joining us is David Gapen from the Reuseum. And good morning to you, David. How you doing?
Morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We've got BattleBot action going on here. Why don't you tell me about these guys?
These are some sumo bots, and we're going to be making these in 2 workshops in August.
That thing gets going super fast.
Yeah, and it'll calm down too.
You said it hops around a little bit.
Woo! Yeah, we'll be making bots like this in August at our shop, and in preparation for our Boise bot competition, September 12th. Again, these are all recycled electronics. These are parts from old assembly machines down at the that we get as excess.
Now, how did you come up with the inspiration for creating these things? Because how do you look at a machine and think, I could make this into a robot like that?
Well, I guess that's just a thing you pick up to be able to identify parts and whatnot. But the concept of these is beam robotics, and they're really, really simple robots. Basically an eyeball with an arm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why it's a great introduction for these workshops for people that are just getting started on it, so they can learn how to hand solder and actually make something.
Well, this is a cool way, like you said, to get someone kind of started on that path, especially
Sure.
some of the younger folks out there that have an interest in robotics, and it just gets them right on that path to, you know, a heck of a future in front of them.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, how did it? What does BEAM stand for? Was it?
BEAM stands for Biology, Environment, Aesthetics, and Mechanics. And it was this movement started in the 90s by 7 people to be able to sustainably create these things and have them look for their own food sources and become a little bit more adept at survival.
Well, this is kind of a cool deal because not only are you creating something very cool, you know, robot and your battle bots and all sorts of stuff with these BEAMbots, but you're also taking stuff that's been kind of strewn aside that, you know, people don't think they have much of a use for anymore. Tell me about the Reuseum.
Well, we are an excess industrial technology and electronics surplus store, but I've sort of tried to inhabit it as a movement to counteract our throwaway society and things. When you're done with it, throw it away. It might not work. It might, but when you use it for parts, there's so many things you can do, like help people learn. That I think are really important. So we're just trying to get the awareness out there that these things can funnel our education. They're a lot more reasonable to try to work with and make your own things, sort of a DIY movement in Boise.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I got to tell you, as a kid, I was way into robots and stuff. So I think this is so cool. I mean, I had GoBots, Transformers, whatever you could find. I was totally into it. But actually making these things work, that is so cool. How simple is the circuitry for doing something like this?
Well, this dude whose head popped off here is a great example.
He got excitable.
Yeah. He right here is the circuit I designed, and this is a great way to learn how to solder, which is how you connect.
Let's go and hold that steady there for the camera shot right there. People can see just it's a very simple circuit board going on, and just a 9-volt battery strap to it.
Yeah, and right here, right there is its little eyeball.
That's the eyeball.
Yeah,
it's so tiny right there. It's just a little light sensor.
Yep.
Okay.
And ultimately, in a BEAM robot, you want to be able to let it search for its own food. So there's the eyeball, and hopefully eat light too. So that's the solar element of it. And those will be things we'll be building at our August workshops at the shop. All
right. Well, there's a very cool event. If you'd like to learn how to do this right now, this first one coming up is all tied up. A pretty good wait list going on, but there's more coming your way. When are the next events?
We're going to have in-house workshops at the Reuseum on August 15th and August 29th. Okay. And yeah, those aren't full. So.
All right, there you go. And if you want a little help crafting your own robot, you can head to the Reuseum website at www.reuseum.com, or you can head down to the store and get all the robotic advice you need. Thank you so much for being here, David. Sure do appreciate it.
Thanks, Nate.